Dark ammo up the ass. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to cut this out. Since I haven't been talking, I might as well cut it out, because I do have a story. Might as well save that story for later. Freaking war wasps. Whore wasps taking up every bit of space possible, being like, hey, I'm going to be here, and I'm going to be here, and here, and here. It's like most enemies would, like, pick out a couple of rooms to stay in, possibly even just one room. In some cases, in like Super Metroid and stuff, where you only saw enemies in one room. Now, time to return the energy to the temple. But, whereas the war wasps, they, like, instead of, like, writing their name in the room that they're gonna take up, they just take an ink pen and explode it all over the map of the area. And it's like, we're gonna take up all this space. Really? Couldn't replace yourself with better and more powerful enemies that are at least a little bit more interesting to fight? But yes, this is Samus restoring energy to the Aegon Temple. Which basically means the Luminoth and, I guess, Samus just gained the upper hand in the battle for Aetha. Dun dun! Oh yeah, and something I didn't notice until my most recent playthrough of this game. The clouds and the storms clear up once you return energy to this temple. I'm not sure if something bad happens to the skies in Dark Aegon, but whatever. And there's Umos back there going, oh, hey, she must have gotten it by now. And miraculously, oh, look, she did. Now, I'm pretty sure some of you may not be interested in my Mario hacks, but I have started a new hack, because as unfortunate as it is to say, Waluigi's quest to become known is suspended until further notice, until I can figure out, well, I haven't been working on it really, but I would work on it, but the only issue is there is a lot of shit that's going wrong with it, and I really hope it doesn't go wrong with my most recent hack, because I put so much work into it. This hack that I've recently been working on has taught me how to manually insert graphics, which in case you don't know what that means, download Translection, which is basically it takes Super Mario World ROM and then turns it into zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, and Fs. Basically transforms it into hexadecimal coding. And then what you have to do is you have to look for, and literally it's like, if you had to print out the paper, more than likely, no joke, the paper with all this on there in 12-point font, this list of the in the hexadecimal editor would probably be good 20 feet long. I mean, it's absolutely massive, that's what she said, but what I mean is that it basically, oh my god, it's so difficult to explain, because basically it complicates the game so much. Why did I go this way? It complicates the game so much, and like turns into all these numbers and letters, and then you have to open another window after finding a specific address, and then you have to copy things in there. Oh my god, it was terrible. And then you have to edit the ASM, the file that will be used to insert the dynamic sprite into, which I forgot to mention, but manually inserting graphics is used for dynamic sprites. And the worst part is, once you use these dynamic sprites, they automatically take up SP4, which is one of the tile sets used by enemies, sprites, and things like that. So things like, I'm guessing, Lakitu would be overwritten by the dynamic sprite, and, you know, things like that, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, with the graphics I inserted, I also, with the dynamic sprites I inserted, since SP3 is still under your control, I put in Shy Guy and Sniffed, which I thought it was Sniffit, but it's not. But I put both of those guys in there, so I can use the Sniffts and the Shy Guys along with my dynamic sprites, which, if anyone's curious, would be Yoshi's. All of them, all three of the dynamic sprites are Yoshi's Island sprites. One of them is the Yoshi Island Wild Piranha. One of them is the Yoshi's Island Patooey plant, which would be the piranha plant that's green and shoots crap at you. Shoots the needle nose bombs at you. Not needle nose bullets. Those are two completely different things. And I also inserted the Yoshi's Island Blowhard. Yes, go ahead, I'll let you guys laugh for the time being, but the Blowhard is that green cactus thing that you can't kill. I don't know if you can kill it with a star or not. I didn't test, but basically, like, you throw a Koopa shell, or you throw a throw block at it, and it'll collapse and pause, but then it'll reinflate. Okay, I'd like to... Whoa! I was like frozen for a second there. It's freaking me out. Thought I'd have to start over. That would have really sucked ass. Really would have sucked donkey balls. Which, yes, if you translate that, it would be ass balls. And, well, back to the game really quick. I'm just grabbing a missile expansion here on the plane of Dark Warship. Yeah, this place sounds really satanic. But notice how little our health is going down. But basically, look at that. There's like a dark alternate to the temple grounds, and way in here, this tiny little bit of scanning, we have a missile expansion, bring us to 50 missiles. So in the plane of Dark Warship, you know, where the Ing come to worship Satan. Oh god, what is that? Oh my god, Warrior Ing, these guys are freaking everywhere. I mean, I know they were created with Dark Aether, but still. Anyway, but yeah, the hack taught me how to manually insert GFX graphics. Also taught me how to, and here's the kicker, in my previous recording session of Prime 2 Echoes, when I think part 2, I was complaining about how, well, I inserted this music with Romy's ad music. It's either Romy or Carol. I think it's Romy. But I used Romy's ad music, and some of the music wouldn't work. And then, big shock, Beatboxing Boo, here's a shout-out to you. You were right. I did not have the NSPC patch installed, because it turns out Romy's ad music doesn't automatically add the NSPC patch. I didn't know that. So, kudos to you, dude. You were right, I was wrong. But the point is, all I had to do was edit a certain file, and it inserted that. So it also taught me how to insert the NSPC patch. So now I have the Donkey Kong Country Oil Drum Alley / Fear Factory song in my hack, along with, well, it's not used by it doesn't use the NSPC patch. But I also have the 02 battle theme from Kirby 64, which I really want that game, like the actual game, not just the ROM, but I want the actual game. Once you have the bombs, you can get this missile expansion here. And if you're wondering to yourselves, oh my god, how would I find this? Well, it's actually pretty easy considering it looks like a perfect morph ball passage. Idiot. I mean, what? No, I didn't mean that. No, some people, I always say, like, idiot stuff. I don't mean it half the time, so... light ammo, yay. So we're at 60 missiles, that's pretty cool. And, interesting little fact here, you can actually go through this door here, which is the pathway to Torvus. I think I forgot to read the little thing. But, yeah, that's the pathway to Torvus, you can access it. Actually, early, I think, if you, get the orange translation module, and then you just come back here to the Great Temple. I'm not sure if you can access the Torvus Bog at that point, but I seriously doubt it, because that would be a huge flaw in the game, because then you could reach the third area, Sanctuary, really early. Granted, you do need the light and dark beam to get into Torvus. I thank you for restoring energy to the Temple of Aegon. You know what, you guys can read this, and if you complain about me reading during cutscenes, well, deal with it. I don't know. Yeah, I'll go ahead and read it. Be on guard, for the Ing do not suffer defeat lightly. They want revenge. There's a shocker. With the energy lost from the desert region, they will increase their efforts in other lands. I have detected unusual amounts of activity in the Torvus sector. They are constructing additional pylons. The swamplands of Torvus are treacherous and hinder you considerably. That is an understatement. I hate the Torvus Bog. Seek the Temple of Torvus. More knowledge awaits you there. And I'll raise my arms and make some sort of crazy reference to God. Or the light of Aether. Same difference. But yeah. I hate the Torvus bog. You'll see why when you get there. Unless you already know, in which case, kudos. You've probably played the game before. Or you're just really smart, in which case, more kudos. But yeah, this new hack I've been working on, I've basically taken so many precautions before doing this. I also edited the status bar with a brand new program I found. That was really recently, in the time frame of the video, that is, was uploaded to SMW Central. This is a Harmony class drone. Basically, the only way to kill them is to use a charged dark beam. However, since they're reskinned Bomboos, they will come after you once you start charging. So, you have been warned. Oh, and charging your dark beam isn't the only thing that'll bring them towards you. Just using your charge beam in general will draw them towards you. But yeah, this new hack I've been working on, I completed the overworld completely first, and as I went along with the overworld, I began to think of the storyline, came up with that. And then I think after that I did the sprites, I inserted the sprites. Let this gateway forever protect our sacred temple. Okay. That was a lie, by the way, because the Dark Alpha Splinter and all that, those guys showed up. And if you want to, you can scan this early. This is 70% history, 50% Dark Age. This is the Age of Anxiety. In time, the roar of a wounded planet subsided. The air, though fouled, was breathable. Light made its way through the dark veil over our world. Slowly, we ventured out from the shelters of our homes to see what remained of our paradise. What little comfort we gained by surviving was soon shattered, for when we looked outward, all we saw was the devastation. Half of the planet's energy had vanished from the energy controllers. Aether became violently unstable. Of the stellar objects which struck our home, there was no sign. And not to sound like a complete geek here, but my theory would probably be that when the meteor split Aether into two halves, between two dimensions, the asteroid probably vanished into dark Aether. Or at least that's just my thought, but quite frankly, I don't care too much about that in-depth of storyline. And yes, I have talked about how I've read the Metroid manga. I was bored one night, and it was checking out Metroid Recon to see if there was anything new about Other M. Which I really should check out that site soon, because apparently they have this new trailer out that I haven't seen yet. And I'm quite interested in the game, mostly because of its control style. And oh no, green doors! Yeah. Now we get to look, a conveniently placed dark rift. However will we get past the green door? Let me think a little bit. No, but yeah, you obviously go past it in dark Aether. And there's also a green door here. Once you can pass through green doors, you will not pass through that the green door in this dark side room for a very long time, or you shouldn't, at least.